Hello again. A brief morning video from out of doors to look at this interesting prayer book I picked up at the local Goodwill in the stack of free Bibles, which it is not a Bible, and I probably should have argued with them and insisted that I pay for this book, but I did purchase some other things to ameliorate my guilt in that area. This is a Catholic prayer book. It's entitled Blessed Be God, and it has this interesting gold design on the front. I assume it's faux leather and a zipper all the way around. The cross zipper pull on it. The zipper still works fine. And this volume was produced in 1960. By P.J. Kennedy and Sons, printed in the USA. It's a very thin volume, but if we skip to the end, over 700 pages somehow fit in here. 750 pages in this very thin book. I know very little about Catholic prayer book tradition, so I can't speak much to what this is exactly. It's not a missal, for Mass, but I think it can take the place of your missal if you're going to Mass. And this would be, I guess, a pretty handy little thing to slip in your purse or jacket pocket. It is full of these really beautiful lithographs. I don't think that's a woodcut. That's probably a lithograph. Blessed Be God, a complete Catholic prayer book with epistles and gospels for every Sunday and holy day of the year. Confraternity version, P.J. Kennedy and Sons, New York. Publishers, The Holy See, 1960. Long list of table of contents. I like that the very first thing on the table of contents, lay baptism. And the first thing you come to at the end of the table of contents is this lay baptism, which says, provided an infant or adult is in danger of dying before a priest can be procured, any other person, whether man, woman, or child, may baptize in the following manner. While pouring common water on the head or face of the person, pronounce the words, I baptize thee in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. So if you're in some type of dire emergency, national disaster, something of that nature, and you don't know what to do, you got this book handy. You at least know how to minister to the dying, which is kind of morbid, but sort of awesome that they have that at the beginning. As I said, these pictures, lithographs, are spread throughout, and they're appropriate to whatever page they're on. So we have table of feasts, we have the church calendar with all the saints' days, the feasts, different lithographs at the top, sort of appropriate for each. Brief statement of Christian doctrine, prayers to be said every day. So the Mass, the sections involving the Mass are in both Latin and in English. All through the Mass, we have the Latin on the left and the English on the right. So whatever type of Mass you're attending, this is not locking down very well. Sorry, that's jumping all over. You'll be able to read along in this little book. At the end, then, if you're using this at Mass, at the end, you've got the Gospel and Epistle readings that accompany the whatever day of the year, whatever week of the year you're on. You would follow along in the Mass at the beginning, and then for the Gospel and Epistle readings, you would then jump to the end, and they're all printed here, I assume, in the Confraternity translation of the Bible, Catholic translation. So you wouldn't have to bring a separate book, either your missal or a Bible with you. Full of a lot of things that I don't know much about. I'm familiar with the Anglican prayer book tradition, and I'm kind of amazed. I'm learning all the commonalities between them, especially in the collects, and I hope to do a more detailed study and maybe video about that. They both apparently came from a common source, some of the collects, the prayers for the days of the year. There are obviously lots of prayers. There's this section from the, at a loss for words here all of a sudden, at the very end. Devout Reflections Drawn from the Imitation of Christ, 566. So I was almost there. Which is a book that I do not have, but I've been wanting to pick up. But kind of an abridgment here. With Garden of Gethsemane, the angel bringing the cup to Christ as he's kneeling in prayer, and there's the three disciples sleeping. But an abridgment here, I assume it's not the complete text of the Imitation of Christ, but select readings from that, which is neat. And then all the, as I said, Gospels and Epistle readings are bound up with this. 1960, what is that, 40, 60 years old, and the zipper still works fine. This fake leather is holding up fine. Can't see it because I didn't readjust. But it's a neat prayer book. Looking forward to learning more about this. So if any of you watching or someone that comes across this knows more about this book and can tell me how this would normally be used in the life of a devout Catholic, apart from bringing it to Mass and participating in the Mass, I'd be interested to learn. And as I go through and compare this with my Anglican tradition prayer books, maybe I'll put together another video on that subject. Thanks for joining me this morning for this outdoor version, early morning version of moving about and manipulating objects. And I hope you have a great day and hope to see you next time.